In this part of lesson 3.1, we're going to classify polynomials by their degree and the number of terms they have simultaneously. Now, we've already classified by the number of terms they have. That's the monomial, binomial, trinomial, and other polynomial classification that we're talking about. But there's also special names according to degrees. So we've just classified polynomials by degrees, and it turns out these special names are very common. So moving forward, we should know these special names by degrees. Specifically, a polynomial of degree 0 is called a constant. Now, this is pretty obvious because it's just a constant number, doesn't have any variables. Degree 0 means no variables, so it's just a constant number. A degree 1 polynomial is called a linear polynomial. A degree 2 polynomial is called a quadratic polynomial. And a degree 3 polynomial is called a cubic polynomial. If you look at this little note here on the top, at the bottom of this page, it says there are quartic polynomials, which are degree 4s, and quintic, which are degree 5s. But it turns out we're going to focus just on these 4: constant, linear, quadratic, cubic, and then we'll say other if it's above cubic. So if it's a degree 6, we'll just call it another polynomial of, or more specifically, just polynomial of degree 6. So what I'd like you to do is use these terms that classify by degree, and then also use those special terms we learned earlier in 3.1, which classify by number of terms a polynomial has. So use the words for the degree terms, the terminology for the number of terms a polynomial has, and classify each in this cooperative group problems. So you can see, for example, 3x squared minus 2x plus 1, that's a degree 2. That means quadratic. And there are 3 terms, so it's a trinomial. So that is a quadratic trinomial. So I'd like you to do that for all of these other problems in 3.1 cooperative group problems. Again, push pause on the video. In about 5 seconds, I'll explain. So make sure you're doing these on your own. Classify by degree and terms. Number 1, by degree, it is a degree 2. So that is a quadratic. And then it also has 2 terms. So that is a binomial, right? Quadratic means degree 2. Binomial because there are 2 terms in this polynomial. H plus 17, well, that is degree 1, so that special name is linear. How many terms does it have? Well, it also has 2 terms, so it is a binomial as well. Now, this points out a nice fact that just because one thing is quadratic binomial does not mean that all binomials are quadratic. You know, we can have binomials that are linear, for instance, or a binomial which is a cubic, or all that other stuff. So let's go on to the next one. By degree, this is degree 3. The special name for degree 3 is cubic, and it also has 3 terms. So not only is it degree 3, but the number of terms is 3. So that is a trinomial. So number 3 is a cubic trinomial. Number 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Now, in terms of terms, we just had a polynomial. There's nothing, there was no special language that we use for 4 terms. But as far as degree goes, we have a 3rd degree polynomial. That polynomial is a degree 3, so it's a cubic polynomial. All right. And then lastly here, 14x, degree here is 1, so we call that a linear. And the number of terms is 1, so monomial. Again, linear because the degree is 1. Again, the exponent there is an implied 1. And we only have one term, so that's a monomial. So that's what this part of 3.1 is doing. And that is the end of lesson 3.1. You can try those at-home practice problems. Again, those make up really good really good problems for a practice test. And then on the homework, there are graded homework problems which are going to be exactly the same as these graded homework problems here. Okay, so those are obviously online and due soon.